everybody, it's VideoGaminAZN, the Asian sensation that is always here in gaming, coming to you guys today with something a little bit different. I guess you could call it kind of like a precursor to a new series that is going to be coming to the channel very, very soon. It is actually, to be more specific, going to be our Road to Ranked series over on BattleSpot. Basically, nice and simple, I compose up a team with the help of you guys, the viewers that is, but we'll get into that in just a minute. I bring it over to BattleSpot and we'll just pretty much see how far we can go. 3 battles. You know what? I'll get more into depth with it when the actual series starts. But what this is specifically is it's basically the thing that ties into it. It's the team builder, and that's what we're calling it. So what I do is, like I said before, with help from you guys, I want you guys to recommend pokes that you want me to use for BattleSpot for the Road to Ranked. I will be asking over on Twitter a lot for Mega suggestions, because I do like to center a team around Megas. It could be 1, it could be 2. But for this first one, guys, TCM, the Chopping Mega, a great friend, member of the fam, of course, you guys all know that, recommended to me that I center a team around Mega Pinsir, and that's the only Mega we're going to go off of for this first team for Road to Ranked. Sorry, I'm blanking out for a minute, guys. Blanking out, I'm sorry about that. But basically what we're going to be doing with each team is going into Road to Rank with it 3 times, and then we'll switch up the team. So I'll be asking, of course, for more suggestions. But today's team is going to be around Mega Pinsir. So I've got Showdown up for you guys where we will be building the team. I've also got over here, we got Smogon, which I don't know if you guys know anything about me in terms of Smogon, but I call it the Forbidden Sight because I actually don't like to use it that much. But as far as team building goes, I think it will be a little bit helpful. And then last but not least, I have this Team Magma team builder thing up, which honestly, after finding it, I found it when I got back from PAX East this past year. And actually, surprise to me, I met the admin at PAX, she's the admin of the Team Magma site. Her name is Gabby. Not going to give her last name, but I follow her on Twitter. I will leave her Twitter account down in the video description because this is a fabulous team builder, guys. If you're into VGC or just looking for a good organized team builder, I highly recommend that you go ahead, and I will leave the link to this, of course, down in the description as well. I highly recommend that you guys go over and use this because I use it all the time. And what we'll do is, it's a good way to see your type coverages and disadvantages and resistances. So we'll use it, we'll make the team on Showdown, we'll do all those Smogon looking up stuff, and then we'll put it and finalize it over here on the Team Magma thing. But let's go ahead and get started. That's the rundown on how Team Builder works. So I've got Mega Pinsir up here right now. Please do excuse Showdown, guys. It's not my computer. It has to be Showdown because for some reason it's slow sometimes on my computer, and like by that I mean it's laggy sometimes. It takes a while for me to be able to type a Pokemon's name in, but I'll talk while it's happening so it's not like nothing's going on. But I got Mega Pinsir up. Basically, let's go one by one here. I'm gonna be honest, guys, the first time doing a team builder live and whatnot, so I might not be the best, but bear with me, you know how I work and whatnot. So the Mega Pinsir I like to run, I believe I run defensive nature, actually. I like it to be a lot more defensive because its attack is out of this world, to be quite honest. But I think for this one, we'll go a different route. Let's go ahead and go to Smogon here, because this is BattleSpot, and I'm not trying to praise Smogon or anything like that. Wow, did I just type Smogon into Smogon? Hello. Okay. Basically what I'm saying is that it's BattleSpot, and BattleSpot will have a lot more of the meta introduced into it. I'm not saying it's not going to be in any other place, but I just feel like that's where the meta is going to be most prevalent, and Smogon might actually help out in that case. So, looking at Pinsir right now, it appears that it's going to be Mega, obviously. So, we're looking at a base 155 attack stat, base 120 defense. Special defense isn't that bad. Mega Pinsir overall is a great Pokemon. So here's what I'm thinking. There's one thing I will not do. I won't look at what Smogon recommends. I still like to be a little bit more unique with my sets. But what I can see with its stats right now, I could also look at Showdown, of course, but Smogon's a little bit more up there for me. So, looking at its stats right now, of course, obviously you can't just send Mega Pinsir in. I'm just going to Mega Pinsir because it's convenient that you can do that. Why don't we go ahead and give you give it Adamant Nature. So we'll go ahead and give it 252. And honestly, guys, I don't think it needs HP, but at the same time, I think it needs speed. So we'll go ahead and give it 252 in speed. Or, no, you know what? Wrong. Let's go ahead and give it... What is it? No, it's not timid. It's jolly, right? Let's go ahead and give it jolly nature, because it really doesn't need all that attack. It really doesn't. And I'm willing to put the 4... wow, not the 43. I'm willing to put the 4 in special defense right there. So, as for, I think for an item... Oh, wait, the item is going to be Pinsir, right? So, anyway, let's go ahead and give it moves right now. I think the best... Okay, so it's double types. So I like to typically have 2 stab moves up there. So, what we'll go ahead and do is give it the nice and powerful... What's the best physical bug move we can get? X-Scissor? Yeah, we'll give it X-Scissor. I think we're going to go full out offensive with this thing, because I do like to run bulk up on my Pinsir, but I don't think this thing is going to be, because I run defensive Pinsir, so it can actually live hits to be able to set up. But I think this one is just going to be full out trying to sweep things. I think close combat would be good, because fighting type gets the most coverage besides ground type in the game. So, but then again, maybe I don't like... You know what? It's going to be really fast, though. It's going to be fast, so maybe the close combat isn't a bad idea. I definitely think... What I think we should do is go ahead and go with Return, because we want to utilize that air raid ability as best we can, and I think we'll go ahead and give it Priority Quick Attack, because in any case that we're in a slump, that will definitely come out in handy. So, there's Mega Pinsir, and now you guys are going to see exactly what I'm talking about with how this takes a little bit of time to load up. Which, again, I do apologize, guys. I also apologize, real quick while that's doing that, if I go over to these sites and something is cut off because of the face cam, I do apologize for that. Wow, this really is taking a while. I have no idea why it wants to do that. Showdown, why you be doing this to me? Hello? Okay, so making small talk, why don't we go ahead and real quick, while that's loading up, if it does load, okay, there it goes. I'm thinking... Okay, so Pinsir is weak to rock, fire, what are your weaknesses? Rock, takes 4 times the rock, so we're already going to have a 4 times weakness, so right then and there, let's get a counter for a rock type. Thinking here, we could go with a fighting type, we could go with a water type. But again, fighting type gets the most coverage, so I'm thinking a fighting type to be quite honest, and... Let's see. Let's go ahead and, since Pinsir is more of a sweeper, let's get more of a bulky fighting type. And I've got just the one in mind. Let's take a look at... Did I spell that wrong? I can't even spell these Pokemon right. No, don't go to Moxie. Oh my gosh, don't go to Moxie. Go to Scrafty. Go to Scrafty, because we have a dark type now. I mean, look at that bulk. That is some amazing bulk right there. So let's go ahead and do Scrafty. Okay, so I think what we're going to do for Scrafty is with base 115 in both defenses. That's pretty good. That's really good, actually. See, what I want to do is okay, so the nature I want to give it is I want to give it Adamant, specifically because, here's my plan. I'm thinking if we invest, why don't we go ahead and invest 252 in attack, and then can we get half? Yeah, why don't we do 128 in both defenses, and then 252 in attack, because it's going to have decent bulk if we do that in both defenses. At least what I think, and I'm hoping that you guys can kind of see what I'm going for right here. I think Scrafty, I know Scrafty is hella bulky. Very, very bulky, and obviously we're gonna go ahead and give it the let's go ahead and give it the Moxie, because the way we're gonna run it, and I know I have a friend that runs a demonic Scrafty over here. I think one of the best things to give it is going to be that Drain Punch for its first move. I think the next thing we gotta do is we definitely gotta give it the D-Dance, because Scrafty gets D-Dance, and that is amazing. We could go ahead and... It needs a Dark-type move. It definitely needs a Dark-type move. And what I'm thinking about is... honestly, the knockoff would be the best thing to give. So let's go ahead and try a knockoff right there. And then, what do you guys think? Would fake out? No, not fake out. There really wouldn't be any need to go for a fake out. I'm thinking, what was what was Pinsir's other? Oh, you know what? We could give it crunch. No, I'm gonna stick with knockoff. I'm definitely gonna stick with knockoff. I think that would be a good thing. I'm gonna go ahead and for the Thunder Punch because, yes, I think for some reason I think Thunder Punch is actually something that people run on Scrafty a lot. I'm not sure. We'll go ahead and give it the Thunder Punch. If I need to swap something out, I could possibly do that. I'll let you guys know if I do that though in you know, when we do the Battle Spot series and whatnot. I think the best thing I want to give the Scrafty though is honestly with that bulk. I think that the leftovers, that's not how you spell leftovers. God, I cannot function today. I think the leftovers might actually be the best thing to go for. Okay, so we've got Mega Pinsir over here with a 4x weakness to rock, but with Scrafty we've got that covered. The fire weakness is another thing for Pinsir, so let's go ahead and see. Well, what's Scrafty weak to? 4x. Okay, so we're putting a lot of 4x weakness to our teams right now. So we have Fairy, so let's see if we can kill two birds with one stone. Can we get something that's good against fire and Fairy at the same time? So for that, it would have to be... See, we wouldn't be able to do that, because we would need a steel type or a poison type, and poison isn't super effective against fire. Well, let's get a good steel type. I am definitely feeling a good steel type over here. Can we go ahead and take a look at steel types? Let's take a look at some steel types over here. And I'm thinking, honestly, what I'm thinking right now would be I mean, Aegis Slash wouldn't be bad. Aegis Slash definitely would not be bad. So, yeah, we're definitely not going to get past... Oh, wait a minute. No, you know what? A rock and steel type. That would be good. So we could go for Aggron if we wanted to. Okay, we've got a couple of options. We could go for Bashidon, which I've never even used, to be quite honest. But he's more, it looks like he's more bulk than bite. And, oh, well, you know what? We could also do Excadrill. Huh. Okay. Alright. Honestly, I'm looking for more offense, though. That's the thing. So, I'm gonna have to say, let's go with Excadrill to get that coverage, because that way we have our fire weakness covered for Mega Pinsir, and we're getting rid of that 4x weak to Fairy. So we're getting coverage on our weaknesses, so that's what we want. I'm gonna go ahead, and I have no idea why Showdown's doing this, guys. I really do apologize for that. And I am going to let you guys know real quick, though, that I'm going to do a transition very soon just to kind of help expand time. And I can explain that another time. Basically, it's kind of this weird thing with audio sync and whatnot. But if I do a transition, I'll kind of have two separate videos, per se, putting it into one. And it'll be a quick thing and whatnot. But I'll let you guys know one more time before it happens. But out comes Excadrill right now. Blah. I was sounding very unsure of myself with that. Now, I run a pretty mean Excadrill, and I think what I'll do is actually go with that one. What I like to do is go... Let's see, we'll run Jolly, max attack, max speed, put the 4 in HP. I know for a fact that I run Choice Band. And then for moves, I like to run, what is it, Iron Head. This Pokemon's going to be easy, actually. Got Iron Head going on. Rock Slide, I believe. So that decimates Charizards when they come around. Alright, Rock Slide. Rock Slide. Earthquake, obviously, because what would you run? What else would you run? And then I believe then the last thing I do is Shadow Claw. Don't ask me why, it just seems like I like the high crit ratio, and to be quite honest, you never know when it'll come in handy. So, and that's one of the things about Pokemon that I like to look at. You never know what's going to happen, so when you bring the things that aren't usually brought, it can come out and it could really help you out. So that's 3 Pokemon, that's half the team right there. So we've got the Fire weakness on Pinsir covered, we got the 4 times weak to Rock. The other weakness it carries is Ice. Scrafty's weak to 4 times to Fairy, also weak to fighting itself. Now, the fact that Ice is weak to something that fighting is not, but they're not weak to the same thing, we'll have to keep that in mind, Ice and fighting. So, I'm more concerned about the fighting, because fighting gets a lot of coverage in the game. So let's get a counter for that fighting type. So, obviously, Flying or Psychic is our best bet, or even Fairy for that matter. Flying or Psychic. I'm feeling pretty good about maybe putting a Psychic type on the team. But who? That is the question. Who is the question? That is actually the good question. I think what we're going to actually end up doing is... I'm definitely feeling a Psychic type. Now, it's gotta be Power though, that's the thing. Medicham would be pretty good, but I think Mega Medicham is more preferred. Hoopa's not out yet, and I wouldn't even dare bring a Hoopa, to be quite honest. Ooh, a Delphox. We get the best of both worlds. We get a Fire and Psychic type going on there, which would cover our Ice weakness. There we go! Alright! Delphox it is. So let's go ahead and see Delphox. And I'm going to tell... Why the heckles is it shiny? That's a little weird, but... Okay, but as this is loading, guys, and this is a good chance for me to do that transition that I'm talking about, so I will be right... Okay, guys, so I am back now. I just wanted to give it time, because honestly, I really hate the fact that it takes so long. I will look into that. I do apologize one last time for that. But now that it's up and running again, we have to get Delphox, right? That's what we decided on. I like how this is coming out. We're going to get that Fire, so we have Ice covered, and I think that's it for Pinsir's weaknesses. I think Rock, Ice, and Fire are his only weaknesses. Electricity. But we've got Extra Drill to cover that. Okay, so we're fine. We are fine. We've got our Mega's weaknesses all covered. It's spelled with an E, right? I'm trying to do this with one hand. You know, I can use it with my mouse. Is it? Yeah, it's Delphox, right? Why is this not coming up? Hello? I'm sorry, guys. We're running into technical difficulties right now. That's kind of weird. I guess Showdown just doesn't want to work with me today. I'm going to go ahead, though, while that's going in there, I'm going to go ahead and start putting things into the... just the Pokemon Teambuilder thing over here. What did we have? We had Scrafty. I don't need to put in moves. I mean, I could to see the type coverage completely, but I'm more concerned about what we're getting for our, you know, resistances and stuff like that. So, Excadrill, I believe, was the next one that we got. Excadrill, and okay, so we have... Is it gonna do it now? I think it was just... Okay, there we go. Running into minor difficulties there with Showdown. Apologies all around. Okay, so I also run Delphox. I love Delphox. Best Kalos starter in my opinion. Greninja can go suck it. So here's what we gotta do. Special attack is sitting at 114. That's a really odd number, but what I'm thinking is, honestly, I would like to max out its speed, but I don't think I really want... I want Delphox to be the finest of power, and it's not that honestly, it's going to be much of an issue if we don't max out its speed. 307 is still pretty fast. Now, even... Okay, so let's see what the difference would be if I went ahead and did that. 337. So that is still pretty good. That is still pretty nice. But I'm going to go ahead and go off with my deal. I think I put... Well, I put 4 into... Yeah, the... Special defense. I just blanked out there for a minute. And then what I do is... I'm actually going to use... I'm going to go ahead and use both hands. I think what I do is I use Power Herb, and then go ahead and use Magician, because once we use the Power Herb, and you'll find out for a minute why, I do like to run Fire Blast for the most power, because who doesn't like that? Solar Beam, Calm Mind, because we can set up. Definitely can set up. There is room for setting up with Delphox, that is for sure. And then, of course, we gotta have a offensive Psychic move, which would be Psychic. So that is going to be our Delphox right there. I mean, it seems like a bold strategy. If I want, I'll think about it, guys. I have no problem switching it up and putting max speed for Delphox, of course. But I think either way you put it, it's really a matter of, do I want to outspeed, which obviously is one of the most important things about Pokemon. Speed is everything, in most cases. But you gotta remember that Delphox isn't exactly, you know, the cream of the crop. It's not light. It's not fragile as anything. It can take hits. Not powerful hits, but it's got room to. Did I just? I think I just spit. I'm sorry. But you know, it's up there. It's a good Pokemon, in my opinion, and I think the way that we're going to be running it for this team will do it justice. So we're going to go ahead and move on and try to find our 4 Pokemon. So we've got... What we got right now? Let's go ahead and put Delphox right on into the party. What I'm seeing right now, from what Magma's telling me, and I do apologize, guys, that you can't see all of it completely, but I will fill you in. We've got a 4 times to Rock, 4 times to Fairy, which we've got covered. We've got that covered. Our 2 times weaknesses are Fighting, Flying. We've got 2 weak to Fighting, 2 weak to Flying, 2 weak to Ground. We've got... Okay, so we've got Fighting covered, though, with Delphox. We've got... We don't have Flying covered. We also don't have Ground covered. We have Rock covered. We have Ghost covered. We have Fire covered. Right? Do we have Fire covered? Don't think we have Fire covered. No, we do not have Fire covered. Okay, so we don't have Fire covered. We have no Water covered. Grass is covered. No, Electric is covered. Ice is covered. And Dark is covered. So we're looking at Water, Fire, and what else did I say? Water, Fire, and Ground. I think I said Ground and... Yeah, Ground. Ground and Flying. Flying, Ground, Water, and Fire are our weaknesses so far for the team that we've got. So, that being said, we've got 2 in each one. I don't know if you guys can see that right up there. We got, yeah, 2 and 2. That's how you read this, by the way. So with that, let's go ahead, and I'm really worried about that Flying weakness, mainly because I feel like Battle Spot is just the home for Talonflames, and the Brave Birds, I don't want none of that. I really don't. So, I mean, if you think move-wise, which is something you could check on this Team Magma builder, you can check to see, you know, what your moves will have for coverage. But I really want solid types to be able to cover that. So let's look for something that has advantage against Flying. So we're looking for Rock, Ice, or Electricity. Let's go ahead and go back. Go into types. Let's take a look at Electricity. I do like my electric types. I really do like those, but then again, there's not... There's a few. You really gotta look around here. Ooh, I'd be tempted to run Rotom Frost, but the problem is that's not going to aid our Fire weakness. That's going to make it worse. Could go Thunderous Therian. That's fine power right there. We could go Electivire if we wanted. Well, here's the problem. If we do electric only has one weakness though. So that might be the best thing, because if we add another type, I'm worried that we're going to be adding more weaknesses that we might at the end, because we're running at the end, guys. We've only got 2 more Pokemon left. So electric might be the best choice, because it'll only add one weakness, which is ground, which we could easily cover. So I'm thinking electricity. Now, I'm thinking between Thundurus, Therian. Heliolisk could be one, but then that fighting weakness, which we do have covered, so that's not bad. We could run the Cheek Pouch Dedenne that Mr. Breeder Mac likes to run with entertainment, but I'm not about that. I'm thinking let's go ahead with Therian. I did ask Breeder Mac if he had one because I was interested in making one anyway, so this would make a good excuse actually for me to start looking at how I want this thing to run. It's spelled with a U, right? Yeah, Thundurus Therian. Now, I know, guys, Thundurus Therian is not really used. It is borderline, which, call me a noob, I don't know what that exactly means. I think that's what, it's somewhere close to OU or something like that, but I do like it. I like the art style of it and whatnot, and it's powerful. It is. One thing I do remember looking at this, though, is it doesn't get a stab flying move other than hidden power flying, so I think that's pretty much predetermined on what our flying type move is going to be. But as for this, it's pretty simple. I think I'm going to run Timid because it's just really on that cuspid of being able to outspeed Charizards and whatnot. So, which to me, that's honestly like, if you can outspeed Charizards, that's the speed range I like to be in for most Pokemon that have decent speed. So I'm going to go ahead and put it Timid so it outspeeds a good amount of things. It really doesn't need that base 145 special attack to be maxed out. Believe me, it really doesn't. So 389, that's fine by me. And I think we'll put the rest in simply into HP. I think that's what we got. Volabsorb is, of course, the only thing it gets. Now here's the question. What kind of item do I want to give you? That's a tough question, to be quite honest. We're already running leftovers, and I also don't like to run 2 of the same item, actually. I don't even think you can do that on Battle Spot. I think that's a rule. Honestly, I'm considering Life Orb, because that would also kind of make up for the fact that we're not maxing out special attack. Granted, it won't be as powerful as maxing out special attack, but at the same time, this thing is meant to be a sweeper. That's what we're going for here. So the Life Orb actually wouldn't be a bad choice. And also, I don't know what else I would actually do. We could King's Rock it. We could have a little bit of fun and do King's Rock. You never know. That could be a thing. I don't know. You guys feeling gutsy? You guys feeling gutsy about that? I'm feeling gutsy. I'm feeling a King's Rock Thundurus Therian form. Let's do it. Let's do it. If I'm having second thoughts, I'll go Life Orb, but I'm thinking King's Rock. King's Rock it is. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're running special, so we definitely want to use Thunderbolt has 10% to paralyze. Yeah, and then Discharge has 30, and it's only 10% or 10 power or less. And of course, we could run Thunder, but Thunder and me get along a good amount of the time. When we want to. I think what we're gonna go ahead and do though is honestly, I'm feeling Discharge. I don't know why. I do intend to use my Thundurus in a doubles at some point, and I'm thinking maybe along with Mega Sceptile. So I think for this one, I think we'll keep it at Discharge. I'm thinking way ahead of myself here. I'm talking about something completely different from Battle Spot, because this is what it's for. It's for Battle Spot. But Discharge is only 10 power less than Thunderbolt, and it has a higher chance to paralyze, which who doesn't like that? So that's all I can say about that. Next up, we have I do like the idea of a Nasty Plot, which I know is a staple move on Thundurus normal form, because what you do is, what Breeder Mac told me is you substitute up and then you get a free Nasty Plot off, and then it's just GG from there. But honestly, I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to try it. I don't know how that's going to turn out for us, but I am willing to try it. So we'll have Nasty Plot, and if we can pull it off, that's the finest of power. We don't need the Life Orb. We don't even need it. And with that King's Rock flinch chance, I like it. So here's what we got to do. We have our stab. Alright, we need Hidden Power Flying. Which also, I think I asked Mac, yeah, everything is 30 except speed. So that's fine. Hidden Power Flying. And then what's the last one we should get? To make it something good. Dark Pulse would get us coverage on 2 types, I think. Psychic and Ghost, yes. Get Scorch Bomb. That's nice. That's nice. What's one of its weaknesses, though? It's weak to rock and ice as a whole. Oh, so Focus Blast. Let's go with Focus Mist. Let's go with that. I feel pretty sure of myself with that set, actually. So now we move down to the last Pokemon, and we're gonna add good old Thunderous Therian. Thunderous Therian over here. So as I was saying, guys, that's gonna introduce one other. We're doing good. No more 4 times weaknesses, which, in my opinion, you don't want to have more than 2. You really don't, and you definitely don't want to have more than 1 Pokemon weak to the same thing. So 4 times weakness, that is. So that Thundurus added, well, here's the problem. Thundurus added flying type to our team. I was a little bit dumb and forgot that, but his weaknesses are already covered, so it's really like that didn't even matter. And he's also resisted the ground, so nothing actually got added. That was a good play. Good play. Good strategy, I want to say. So with that, let's go ahead and look for our final member. So what are we sitting at for, what don't we have coverage for? Water and fire. That, honestly, that's it. That's all we got. Water and fire appears to be the only thing we don't have. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what we can get to cover fire and water at the same time. You would need like an electric, grass type, or you would need a grass, or you need like a fire and water type, right? No, you need a fire and electric type. You need a fire. God, I'm blanking out here. No, you would need like a grass flying type. Do we get? Is there a grass flying type? No, not a grass. You need a grass water type. Fire and water. We would need a grass water type. That's the only thing I can think of right now. But if we can't get it, exactly, that's okay. Ooh, there are grass water types. Ludicolo. I think I might be focusing way too much on coverages, but this is the first one, the first battle spot, and the first time I've actually really tried that battle spot for that matter. So I'm going to go ahead and just try out to see how it works for trying to get as much coverage on your weaknesses as possible, because I heard that's a good way to do team building. So Ludicolo is by default pretty much the best thing we can do. I've heard many stories about Ludicolo, by the way, though. So we're going to go ahead and go ahead with Ludicolo over here. Go ahead with Ludicolo. I know Rain Team Ludicolo is just a god. I'm gonna go ahead and give it its hidden ability, because since we're not running a rain team, which to you guys would probably be like, well, why are you running Ludicolo? There's no reason to run it without doing rain team, but honestly, I'm looking at its stats right now, and that's not a bad poke even without the rain. It's really not. It's meant to be bulky as all get out. So what I'm going to do here is I'm thinking about maybe if we put, say, let's put 128 into its HP. We'll go 128 in HP. We'll go flat out, let's do 120, oh god, no, don't do that. 128, let's do 128 in its defense, special defense that is. And then we could do, what, 252 in defense? And then what if we gave it a max, like what if we gave it bold nature? because it's not going to utilize that attack. And that way its defenses are somewhat the same with that pretty well off HP. Now, base 90 special attack not invested, that to me is still okay. And I've got a plan. Can Ludicolo get anything set up wise? It doesn't look like it can. That's the problem. Doesn't look like it can, but at the same time, that's not exactly a bad thing. What I'm thinking is definitely run Scald, even if this thing isn't, like, being bulky, but at the same time being able to whittle down an opponent. That is the point of having a bulky Pokemon. You want it to be there, and you want it to be able to do a specific job. What this Ludicolo is going to have to do for us is be able to be out there while it's taking hits, to be able to whittle down opponents, specifically fire, you know, or water types, if need be. So, with that, I'm thinking, I'm a little OCD here, and I like to spread out my moves here. I'm thinking, let's go all out with power, and go with a nice and powerful energy ball to cover for that water type. And what we can do, also at the same time, is since it's supposed to be more of a bulky set, it gets Sword Stance? Wow, that's intense. That is some intense stuff right there. Can go ahead and give it Leech Seed, honestly. In my opinion, I think Leech Seed would be a pretty darn good move to give it. That way, because if you get the burn on Scald with a Leech Seed, that's, I don't know anyone that's going to want to be in that. And then what we can do is, Synthesis or Rest? That's the question. I want to run Synthesis for one reason. I'm thinking a little bit ahead that if you could get like the burn and then the Leech Seed off, or even the Leech Seed off, and if you could get your opponent in that point where they can't do enough to Ludicolo to one-shot it or even do like a 3, you know, it could take 3 hits, you could stall them out. You could definitely do that. So with that, I think the best thing to do is to give this in the good old Citrus Berry, just to really aid it, so when it gets down to that point where it's ready to Citrus Red on up, it's going to get that. And I think with that, I'm pretty content with that set. I don't know about you guys, but I feel pretty dang content. So, with that, guys, I don't mean to speed things up, but we are pretty much at the end. We're just going to add Ludicolo in here real quick. Just going to add Ludicolo in here and take a look at our final things. We've got a 3 to Flying, and we don't have any more 4 times, and that's it. We've got 3 Pokemon weak to Flying, but we do have coverage with a nice and powerful Thundurus. And then we've got 2 to Fighting, 1 to Poison, 2 to Ground, 2 to Rock, 1 to Bug, 1 to Ghost, 2 to Fire, 2 to Water, 1 to Electric, 2 to Ice, and 1 to Dark, which I believe, if I'm going over this all correctly, we have coverage for all of that. So Mega Pinsir is going to be the star of the show, our Mega for this team. One more time, guys, the team is Mega Pinsir, Scrafty, Excadrill, Dullfox, Thundurus Therian Form, and the nice and powerful Ludicolo. So one more time, just be sure that you check out the video description down below, because I will have this team builder here. You can use it any way you want. You can see you can put the abilities and the moves, so you can get those type coverages with moves and whatnot. It's very helpful, guys. I'd like to thank one more time Gabby for, you know, blessing us with this great team builder. It's amazing. Of course, I got to thank Smallgon, of course, for offering their site, because that really helped out. While Showdown was being a little bit glitchy, I apologize one more time for that. But we made it through, guys. This is going to be the team. So how this is going to work real quick is I'm going to go ahead and make this team. Road to Ranked is going to be every Tuesday. If you're not sure about how that works, you can check out the schedule. It is now officially up on the YouTube page. If you go to the About tab, my schedule is there, all full out for you guys. Road to Ranked will be every Tuesday. One more time, I'll take this team out, do a couple tests on my own, build it and whatnot. We'll bring it to Road to Ranked, Battle Spot 3 times, and then we'll switch on over to a brand new team. But that's going to be it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for the first team builder. I'm sorry if it was tedious, it was long. I don't seem like I know what I'm doing, but hopefully I'll progress and get better at it, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it, and I hope to see you guys at Road to Rank. So don't forget, guys, you're free to suggest anything you want when we go back to the next team builder, of course. And that's about it. So as usual, if you enjoyed the content that you viewed in today's video, Be sure you hit that like button right at the bottom of the video. Tell me how I'm doing. Did you like today's team builder? Was there anything you would have done differently? And if there's anything with these pokes you would have done, please let me know down in that comment section. Of course, if you absolutely hated the team builder, you just don't like the way I play, you don't like the way I'm building my teams, you can be sure to hit that dislike button right at the bottom of the video, right next to said like button. But that's completely up to you guys, and I'll leave you with just that. So, with all said and done, I'm VideoGaminAZN. Thank you for watching, guys. I will see you next time.